Hello and welcome to another episode of Digital Playground. I'm your host, Jen, and today we have a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. I'm Dennis Furia, and I'm the creator of the solo expandable card game Deck of Wonders.
So we'll get right down to the table and see what we've got here. So you'll go into the explanation of how the game works, correct?
Yeah, I'll walk you through it. And I think what you're seeing on the screen right now is actually a demo table set up for 6 people. You'll see 6 kind of digital play mats, if you will. We're only going to use one of them today because Deck of Wonders is a solo game. This is solitaire on steroids. This is you versus the rules. And so while it's possible to play it co-op, I've designed it first and foremost as a solo experience. This is also a legacy experience. The game will kind of evolve and the rules and objectives will change as you play. But the overall feel of playing captures the vibe of games like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, which I understand you have a bit of familiarity with.
Yes, I've got a background in, as I think most
Hmm.
people have.
Yeah, it's hard to escape, and they're a lot of fun to play. And this allows you to kind of have that experience at your fingertips in your pocket whenever you like. So you're sitting down here at the wild side Pixie Cavalry. Lauren Brown, the artist, and I have taken to calling the different sides of each card the tame side and the wild side. So you are Pixie Cavalry, wild side. And I think that's the first thing to talk about that makes Deck of Wonders special. By the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't say the art on the table making the playmats is the final art. The art we're playing with right now is placeholder art. And by the time we hit Gen Con, all of this art will be final. So that's exciting. There's a minion. So, something that makes every card in Deck of Wonders special is the fact that it has 2 sides. The player side, outlined in white and in the same direction as the main card name, and then the villain side, outlined in black and going in the opposite direction of the card name. And depending on whose turn you draw the card does different things. Draw it on your turn, you only pay attention to the player side. Draw it on the villain turn, you only pay attention to the villain side. What that means is this is a deck building game and a kind of TCG card battling game where both sides are drawing from the same deck of cards, which makes for this really interesting balancing challenge up front as you're building the deck. If you want to put in a card in for yourself, you have to know that there's a chance the villain is going to get the advantage of it. And if that happens, what's your plan? What card do you put in to balance that? And then that kind of cascading decision goes down as you're building your deck. So that's the deck building side of Deck of Wonders.
One thing
Now,
I
what I've
noted
put together.
too
Oh, go ahead.
is I love how your artwork has like it's a duality to the artwork. Well, at least the
Yes.
base art that you have down, like for Poison Toad, like it's actually interconnected in the image because they're both hitting like the same frog or the same fly. I
Mm-hmm,
really
mm-hmm.
like that concept too. So you were saying, sorry.
Well, well, and what I'll do, I'll drop into the Discord, and perhaps you can edit into the video. Some of the other art is very much intended to intertwine in that way, and the
Okay.
the idea behind the aesthetic is that of a twisted mirror, where it's the same minion, but you're seeing a different side of it depending on where fate has decided to place it. And that leads into the story behind this game. So the story is that you've stolen the deck of wonders from Fate herself, and she's unleashing all manner of magical minions to take it back from you. You are going to have to fight off the villains that are kind of coming after you, either at Fate's behest or maybe of their own selfish ambition, in order to stay one step ahead of Fate and to keep the deck of wonders. You guys are going to be vying for control of that deck, and that's where, as I mentioned, you're both going to be drawing from it to try to get the upper hand. You will be drawing from the deck 2 types of cards. And again, if you're familiar with Hearthstone or Magic, you're familiar with these cards. On the left here is Poison Toad. It is a minion, and you can see it has statistics. When you play out the minion, it comes into play tapped or exhausted. And then at the next turn, it will ready up and can attack, but it cannot attack the turn that it's played. The good news is it stays in play turn over turn until it's destroyed. If you play a spell, like for example, here's Earth Shield, this doesn't have any physical presence in the game, but it will have an immediate impact. And so when you play a spell, you immediately resolve its card text, but it won't necessarily have a physical presence in the game. Make sense on that front?
Yep.
Awesome. Um, Like I mentioned, there is a huge deck building component to Deck of Wonders, or deck construction component. But I made the choices for you today. So you're playing a pre-made deck. And the way the game works, I mentioned playing minions and spells. When you have a minion that's ready to attack, you can deal its damage to a target, be it a villain minion or the villain themselves, by tapping it or exhausting it and dealing that damage.
Mm-hmm.
The villain you're facing off against in this demo is Cullen the Spoiled Prince. There are 3 villains at the start of Deck of Wonders, and I won't comment on whether or not there are more. But every villain has its own personality, has its own special rules and story. So, for example, Cullen likes to think of himself as Fate's favorite, but he's really just got rich parents. He's really just spoiled and kind of on top for that reason. However, he's mad that Fate is giving her attention to someone else, even though it's negative attention. And he thinks stealing the deck from you will get attention back from Fate. And so he's bringing his minions. Every villain has cards associated with them that you have to put in your deck if you're facing that villain.
Okay.
And then to those, you're going to add cards from your collection to form the deck of cards that you play with. So I mentioned, you can play your minions, you can attack with them, you can play spells and resolve their effects. Fate favors the villain, though, and the villain is going to get several advantages. When the villain draws a card, if it's a minion, it comes into play ready to attack. And the villain turn is going to play out in 3 phases. First is draw and resolve. So you're going to draw the villain card, put it in play, and resolve any card text on it. So in this case, Gnomish Servant, which I drew here, has draw 1, so the villain would get an additional card. And so now the villain gets Gnomish Servant and Reinforced Dam. Next is what we call the Battle Lines phase. And I'm actually going to draw a couple more minions just to illustrate how Battle Lines phase works. This is perfect. So I've given the player Hungry Wolf, which is a 3 attack, 1 health minion, and Poison Toad, which is a 1 attack, 1 health minion, but it has card text Poison. Destroy any minion this minion deals damage to. So if this is attacking a minion, it is going to destroy it. When you get to Battle Lines phase on the villain turn, you must order your minions from left to right in terms of priority. And priority is this stat in the center of the card here, the 3 for Hungry Wolf and the 2 for Poison Toad. So they have to be in this order, left to right. If I had a tie, if I had multiple minions with 3 priority, I would get to choose their order.
Okay.
But basically what priority does is it sets the AI for the villain and tells the villain roughly who is the most important minion to attack first. And that is kind of the brain of the villain going on. Next up, we have drawing battle lines for the villain. You'll note that villain minions don't have priority, and you can order these minions in any way you see fit. So I could do this way, or I could do this way. What that's going to do is force them to attack in a certain order. Villain minions always have to attack in order from left to right. So let's start here, and then we'll talk about how Battle Lines phase can change things.
Okay.
So once you've drawn and resolved for the villain, and then once you've drawn your battle lines, you get to the attack phase. And the villain always attacks according to a simple set of rules, which is it will always attack the highest priority player minion, in this case Hungry Wolf, if it can deal enough damage to destroy it collectively.
Okay.
And so let's look at this here. Reinforced Dam deals 0 damage. Not very impressive. It's got a lot of health, no damage. So that's not enough to destroy Hungry Wolf. However, Gnomish Servant has 1 damage, and Hungry Wolf is kind of weak. It only has 1 health. So Reinforced Dam plus Gnomish Servant is going to deal enough damage to destroy Hungry Wolf.
Okay.
Therefore, all of their minions are going to attack Hungry Wolf until it's dead. And they'll do so in the order that you set. Remember the battle lines phase. So because I put Reinforced Dam first, it has to attack first. And it's effectively going to waste its attack because it deals 0 damage. Hungry Wolf deals 3 damage back to it. It's not enough to kill either of them, right? Then Gnomish Servant is going to attack and deal 1 damage. That's going to kill the Hungry Wolf. Hungry Wolf deals its damage back again, and that's enough to kill the Gnomish Servant. And so at the end of this turn, both Gnomish Servant and Hungry Wolf are going to be discarded.
Now, one question I have:
Mhm.
does health or damage stack, or does it get refreshed?
Damage does stack within a turn.
Okay.
So let's say this had 3 health and this had 2 attack or something like that. It
Mm-hmm.
would be 2 + 1 = 3 total attack versus the Hungry Wolf.
Okay.
However, health damage is not persistent turn to turn. At the end of every single turn, minion health goes back up to full. So it might
Okay.
take multiple hits to kill a minion, but at the end of the turn, you either killed it or you didn't, and you can't kind of keep it injured turn to turn.
Okay. Makes sense.
That keeps the math a little bit easier for you. My goal is that this is a game that can fit in your pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and so having no additional trackers or tokens, or I'm playing Arkham Horror card game right now, and
Oh
the
yeah.
number of different little tokens, the hearts and the brains and the this and the that. It makes for a great game, but it's not something that I can take with me very
Yeah.
easily.
It's
So
not a travel size game.
yeah, so
You're
at the end of that turn, oh, go ahead, sorry.
no, no. You were saying.
Yeah, so at the end of that turn, the way we played it out, the villain's turn is over. I have a poison toad up, and they have a reinforced dam up. But if we change the battle lines, that turn might play out differently. And again, this is just random cards I drew off the top of the
Mm-hmm.
deck. Let's force the well, let's see here. Let's force the gnomish servant to go first. In that case, the gnomish servant itself has enough damage to destroy the hungry wolf, right?
Mm-hmm. And vice
And so
versa.
it's going to, and vice versa. So they're going to attack and take each other out. Um, this would be a better example with different cards, but we'll play it out just to show the principle of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
Reinforced Dam is now still able to attack, right? And the new highest priority minion is Poison Toad. It has 0 attack, though. That's not going to be enough to destroy the toad. Instead, that means that it's going to attack the player directly, and it will quote unquote attack you, although it's for 0 damage, so that wouldn't have an impact. Where that comes into play, let's start digging for additional cards. Let's see. Is yeah, if you had a stronger minion in the way here. There we go. Let's do this. Let's do Pixie Cavalry, which, hey, look at this. This is the card that this art is based on,
Nice.
versus Pixie Mesmerist, right? So in this case, we have this matchup left. It's the Pixie Mesmerist's turn to attack. It doesn't have enough damage to kill the Pixie Cavalry, and so it's just going to attack the player directly.
Okay.
And I would lose 1 health.
So does according to the prince card, we both start at 30, right? So are we only starting at 20 because this is the way it's set up for the demo?
No, we're starting at 20 because I've rebalanced to 20 and I haven't changed the card yet.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No, you're totally fine. That's a sharp eye though. That's good. And that attention to kind of the details of the rules and finding these arbitrage opportunities is important in getting ahead in the game. So another great example might be this. So battle line order. Let's say Poison Toad was first. Because this Poison Toad has poison, it can kill Pixie Cavalry in 1 hit because anything it deals damage to dies. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny little minion, big effect.
Yeah.
That means these 2 would be discarded. I'll just put them over here for now. And then Pixie Mesmerist would be left and would be able to attack me for 1 health. I lose a point of health. However, if I change their order and said, Pixie Mesmerist, you have to go first, still collectively, they will deal enough damage to kill Pixie Cavalry. Like if they all attack it at the end of the turn, Pixie Cavalry is dead. But now because I've changed the order, Pixie Mesmerist has to attack first, and it's just going to run itself against the rocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
It deals 1 damage, meaningless. It takes 2 damage back and is going to be destroyed. And then the Poison Toad is going to come in and finish the job.
Mm-hmm.
I still lose the Pixie Cavalry, but
You don't
I
take
have
any
saved
damage.
myself. You're right. I've saved myself a point of health, and I've now gone 2 for 1. I've managed to take out both of these minions with my Pixie Cavalry rather than just one of them. And so paying attention to order, the order of the villain minions matters. The order of your player minions matter, especially when there are multiple of the same priority level, because you
Okay.
can switch that back and forth. And that part of the villain turn functions kind of as a puzzle game. How do I order the villain's attacks in the battle lines phase to be as inefficient as possible? And it makes up for the fact that villain minions are stronger and faster, right? They don't have to wait a turn to attack. They attack the turn they're played.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, their card text is stronger than yours. And so finding those opportunities to game the system and pick your battles, create an advantage, is how you get ahead in Deck of Wonders.
Perfect. So let's get down to playing this.
Let's play this game.
Yeah, is there anything else we need to know about at this point?
Not that we can't learn while we play it. So the
Okay.
way the game is going to start, you start by drawing 4 cards, a hand of 4 cards,
Does it go to my hand or to the player side?
to the hand,
Okay.
to your hand. Yeah. So there's hand, player side, and villain side. The villain won't have a hand of cards per se, but on their first turn, they will get to draw 3 cards. So you're starting with a bang, they're starting with a bang. From that turn on out, each side will draw 1 card a turn. Now, many villain cards and some player cards have draw 1 on them, so you'll wind up drawing multiple cards, and certainly the villain is going to wind up drawing multiple cards. But the base draw after this big splashy start is going to be 1 per turn. That means it's important to manage your resources well turn to turn. And you can't just throw out cards willy-nilly. You need to be strategic about when and where you take your shots.
Okay.
You also have the opportunity to mulligan once. So you're looking at a hand of 3 spells and 1 smaller minion. The thing that's powerful about Pixie Mesmerist is that it's high priority, meaning even though it's small, it can get up in the face of enemy minions. That's helpful if you're protecting something else. It's not so helpful on its own. So if you want, you can mulligan these 4 cards, put them into the discard, and draw 4 new cards.
I think I will mulligan because I need more minions to start off with.
Yeah, I agree with that decision. And the interesting thing is, right, depending on how you've built your deck, you will know what you're looking for. You will know what a strong starting hand looks like for you. You're just having to take my word for it a little bit right now. But I promise I wouldn't do you wrong.
Okay, let's see what I've got here. So I got Reinforced Dam, Hungry Wolf, Lightning Strike, and a Trap. So no, I think I will keep this one. This looks like a decent amount. I've got half minions, half spells.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So on my turn,
note,
yeah.
Yeah, of note on your. Oh yeah, you're reading off the reference. There's no limit to the amount of cards you can pay, but some cards do have a cost. You'll see cost, discard 1 or discard 2 or what have you. If you want to play that card, you have to pay the cost. So you don't have anything on the villain side to remove right now, but if you did want to remove something with Lightning Strike, you would have to first discard another card from your hand.
Which isn't too bad because you also get to draw 1 at the end.
Yeah, and Deck of Wonders functions as a mana-less system, so the cards are the mana. And you're either playing a card for free, you either have to cycle, discard 1 and draw 1, or you straight up have to discard. And for a super powerful card, you might have to discard 2. It's a little less nuanced than being able to have lands and all that stuff. But as you mentioned earlier in our conversation, you don't get mana screwed.
Yeah.
And it keeps the game nice and light and portable and not having too many components. So yeah, you can play. What would you like to play?
I think I will start off with Reinforced Dam. So that comes in tapped, you said.
Yes. Exhausted, because I don't have the trademark to tapped.
Comes in Exhausted. And then, so I've played something. I don't have anything to attack, so it would go to my end turn. So I would ready my minion. So this guy would come back to this side. And then it would go to the reset all minion health, pass to villain. So now the villain plays 3 cards because it's the start of the game.
Exactly. And you're going to do that 1 at a time. So you'll draw 1 and resolve it, which might include additional card draw. And then you'll continue going from there. All right. So you'll turn that upside down. An Ent Tree Herd has entered the battle.
He's a 3/3. That's
no pun
kind of
intended.
mean.
that is a strong minion. Yes.
And then we've
Gust of Wind comes out. Oh.
I too quickly. Okay. Destroys all players' 1 base minion. I don't have a 1 base minion, so that does that kind of just fizzle?
It does. Yeah, you're fortunate. It's just going to miss. And the game is balanced knowing that the villain is kind of attacking mindlessly here. It's just they are more powerful. They've got more cards. It's more brute force. You are going to win if you win because you are more nuanced. You're more clever. and that's what you are going to go through.
Oh no.
Oof,
That one does kill off my reinforcement right off the bat,
that
though.
is going to take a reinforced dam down. Yes. What that means. So first off, you've survived the first 3 draws. That's great. The Ent Tree Herd is still on the board here, and it is able to attack the turn it's played,
So I
meaning
would
you are going
get
to lose
-3.
3 health.
Whoops.
Yep.
There we go. And then
Good
I
news
get...
is, oh, go ahead.
No, you were saying.
Good news is you survived the initial onslaught, and now you're into 1 card a game, and you're off to the races. So you can draw 1 to start your next turn.
Okay, draw 1.
And again, like I mentioned, this is all coming out of the same deck of cards.
So I've got 1 Hungry Wolf. Well, I've got 2 Hungry Wolves, a Lightning Bolt, Lightning Strike. How much damage does Lightning Strike? Does 2 or less. Now,
Yeah, so here's a... Oh, go ahead.
So if I go and play 2 Hungry Wolves, and then the Tree Ant would kill 1 for sure. But starting my next turn, I would be able to do enough damage to kill off the Ent with 1 of my wolves. But if another card came out in the meantime, could I also play the Lightning Strike to kill off the new minion before? Or do I have to ready that spell beforehand?
Great question. So spells have an immediate impact, but you play them on your turn. You will not be able to play cards to interrupt the villain's turn. So if you want to take that Ent Tree Herd out, you need to do it now. Or you need to put out a minion that you think the Ent is going to attack on their turn. Now, this is the mind game of Deck of Wonders, which is I can put out a Hungry Wolf, and because I know the rules that the villain follows, I'm relatively certain that the Ent Tree Herd will attack it and kill it on its turn. However, the villain is always going to draw something before it attacks, right? The villain is going to get an additional card, and we can't know what that is unless we've been card counting. And so the risk you take by counting on that Hungry Wolf to do your work for you is that something comes out on the villain's turn, maybe another lightning strike like the villain drew last time, and destroys that Hungry Wolf before it can do what you wanted it to do. And so it's a balance, do you expose yourself to that risk, and it's a calculated risk, or do you kind of go all in and spend cards from your hand to kill the Ent Tree Herd now?
So right now I'm at the play and attack phase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play 2 Hungry Wolves. And they come in exhausted. And then I will also play my trap, which would kill off the Ent because it's 4 base or less health.
Correct. It does come at a price, though, that trap
I've
card,
got a
or the beta trap card.
So I'm going to discard my Lightning Strike.
Now, that said, you're now 2 minions ahead on board, and they are 3 attack minions, So this is nothing to sneeze at. That'll take Cullen down in a couple turns if left unchecked. So it's a bold move. It's an aggressive move. I like it. And we never know what fate has in store, because you're ending your turn, refreshing your minions, and now the villain gets a card.
So they get a card, and we flip that over, and they get... Oh, no. That doesn't look like it's going to be helpful on my end. If there's a minion on top of the discard, move it into your exhaust. Do not resolve. Oh, wait. Did I play that on the wrong side?
You played it on the right side. So move it into... If there's a minion on top of the discard pile, move it into play exhausted, but do not resolve its card text.
So there isn't one.
Fortunately for you, there's a spell on top, which means this villain spell fizzles. It misses. Unfortunately for you, the villain side has draw 1 at the end of it. And the way I've balanced for a lot of these spells potentially just missing is they are balanced to have draw 1 at the end of them. So you dodged regeneration, but you're going to get hit by Fated Trap.
Yeah, which will do destroy the lowest priority player minion. So they're both the same amount, so I guess I technically choose. So
you get to choose. Now, there are some, we saw the Ent Tree Herd, right?
Yeah.
And so if you had a Hungry Wolf and an Ent Tree Herd, you would be able to choose which one gets destroyed. You don't want to lose either, but at the end of the day, Hungry Wolf is weaker than Ent Tree Herd once it's on the board. So those kind of decisions and making them correctly are how you get ahead in the game.
All right.
So the villain threw a lot of removal at you, but you have 1 minion that survived. You get to draw a card to start your turn, and you're going to be able to start doing some work here.
All right. Let's flip this over. What did I end up getting?
Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
Speak of the Ent.
So I will not draw him this turn because I do not have the amount to discard. So I will wait on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I will straight out go and attack.
Yep, yep.
So does this get exhausted when it attacks?
Correct. So you'll turn it sideways to indicate that it's attacked. You'll deal its damage wherever you see fit, which right now your only target is Cullen. And then you will draw for the villain. And yeah, what you saw there on Ent Tree Herd for people watching is it has a cost of discard 1, and so you can't play it from an opening hand. You know, it's objectively stronger than Hungry Wolf. It's got 2 additional health, but you can't play it if you're top decking.
Oh no! Well, there goes my poor little wolf.
Oh, there, yeah, wah wah. The toad got him.
The toad got him. So
now he's gonna get the Hungry Wolf is gonna kill it back. That's the fortunate thing.
Yeah. So both of them
And the way,
going out.
Yeah, the way I choose to look at it is in terms of value for what you want to trade away your Hungry Wolf for. Poison Toad is pretty good because technically its poison ability, which deals infinite damage to minions, is being wasted on Hungry Wolf, which only has 1 health anyway.
That is very true. So then it would go back to my turn. I would draw my card. If it would like to give me my card. There we go. Yay, tabletop physics. Okay, yeah. So I've got a spell. The villain has 2 or more minions. Play, draw 2. So that doesn't give me much. So I will... Do I discard and bring this card out?
Exactly. So that card is not useful for you as a card. It is useful for you as mana.
Yeah, but do I...
Now that said, it's a powerful card, right? Draw 2 in a game where you're only drawing 1 a turn is a bit of extra draw. The conditions for that require you to be a bit behind, though. So, yeah, so this is where you get into that conversation. Oh, go ahead.
So I think at this point, I will go to the villain's turn and let him draw.
Bide your time. I like it.
We'll draw his stuff right away. So let's see. So he has a spell. I'm just trying to turn. So Gust of Wind. Destroy all players' minion of 1 base health, which I do not have, so the spell fizzles.
And you just got yourself an extra turn.
Yes.
That is a lucky draw. There's not many spells that will just miss, right? There's a lot of stuff that draws again or minions that'll come out. You're suddenly sitting a bit prettier.
I will have to wait for that one. So I will... do I want to wait?
Yeah, how greedy are you feeling? Because the combo that you're sitting on right now is you can use Ent Tree Herd to discard something powerful and then use Regeneration to fish it back out of the discard pile for free.
Yeah.
Like that's a powerful combo, but you don't have any cards to do that immediately. And so, you know, how long do you kind of wait for the perfect play versus how soon do you step on the gas now while the board is even?
So I'm actually going to wait. I'm going to go to the villain phase, let him draw his thing.
All right. Patient. You're patient.
Which he gets his poison frog. So because he's got 1 attack, I would take 1 damage because I'm the only target out on the field.
And thank goodness you're not a minion. Yeah, yep. So it's a very powerful card versus minions. It's essentially hard removal. But it's not that powerful against the villain. You know, you're not that scared of it.
So I will draw my card. Turn. Let's see what I've got. Reinforced Dam. But against that card, it's not very useful either. And you said we have unlimited hand size, correct?
Unlimited hand size, unlimited minions on the board at once. What I've found is if any player gets to an egregious amount of minions, the game's about to be over anyway.
So I will be patient again. I will wait and let the minion play something, the villain play something else.
You can tell that you have a card game or a TCG background, right? Because you're willing to call your shots. A lot of people feel like I've got cards, I have to play cards.
Oh, that
and then they wind up losing 20-0. Oh.
That one's player destroys.
You found yourself a big boy.
Okay, so player destroy 1 other villain's minion. So I'm getting rid of the toad.
Yeah, imagine like this troll is just stomping into the battlefield and hurting its own friends on its way to hurt you.
Exactly. But it
is going to hurt you.
It is going to hurt me for 5.
Oof.
So I'm down to 11, but that's okay. I don't mind taking the hit right now. I was always a regen. Like when I was playing Magic, I always was a life
Mm-hmm.
gain person, so I don't mind losing some health to gain some later on. So,
Yeah, I've heard.
um, you were saying, sorry, did we lose you? Oh, we did lose you. Just 1 second, guys. We are just waiting for Discord to decide to reconnect because it likes to do this to us. Loading, loading, loading.
Hey there.
Hello. Like I said, Discord likes to disconnect.
Hopefully, we fought through there.
Oh yeah, we've got through it. It should be fine. I'm just resetting up the grids and everything so we don't have to reposition everything for OBS. Just give me 2 seconds there. There we go. All right, we're good to go again. So,
yeah, you were starting your turn. You had not drawn your card yet.
no, I had not drawn my card yet. So I will draw my card. See what I get. Ooh, that's
More regeneration.
more regeneration. I like this regeneration. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use regeneration, which lets me bring out the toad. The toad comes in exhausted. Move in to play exhausted.
Yeah.
So it is exhausted.
So it's just as if you were playing it from your hand, but you don't have to pay the cost.
Exactly. And then I will also play...
And I'll remind you, the villain is going to be able to attack first, so you need to be mindful of priority, because it will always attack a higher priority minion before it attacks the lower priority minion.
Then I will wait. I will let it go and attack that toad. So, then the villain gets to draw.
Yes, indeed. And this is that, like, you think the toad is going to take out the forest troll, that would be great, but what else is coming out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If this is hard removal, if this is another gust of wind or anything, chances are...
It's just a hungry wolf. So...
Just a hungry wolf.
So I will prioritize the battle line so that the forest troll hits me first. So the forest troll hits that. They both get poofed because of damage from poison. And then I would take 3 damage from the hungry wolf.
Single digits.
That's okay.
Living dangerously here.
It's okay. I'm okay with that. And then it would go to my turn. So I draw.
Yep, and you're going to start by drawing 1. It's interesting. You haven't gotten to get value out of that guerrilla tactics card yet. Like, it's
Not
so
yet.
every turn
It's
it seems
just
like you're
sitting
right
there.
on the verge of it. But
Oh, okay.
and the dangerous thing is with the hungry. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you were saying.
With a hungry wolf on the board, that puts you like 3 turns from lethal, and depending on what it draws, probably 2 turns from lethal. So it's like, it's you want to get the villain building up enough minions that you can use guerrilla tactics, but you also, there's spoiler alert, there's not regeneration in this deck for you, so there's no healing cards in this deck.
Oh, that's fine. But I still have... Whoops, wrong card. I still have a regeneration, which I will take that troll gladly back. So
that is a really good use of regeneration across 2 turns. Like you used a regeneration to set up the big regeneration play on the next turn. So I love the thinking across turns. That's really cool.
And then at the same time, because it's going to go after the highest priority, I'm going to throw out Reinforced Dam, which comes in exhausted as well. I'm going to draw one of my ants. Did I have to discard 2? No, discard 1. So I will discard...
But you do get to draw 1.
I'm gonna
And this is a tough choice, right? Card draw versus another strong minion is.
I'm gonna take that out because right now it hasn't been doing me much.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got another. Ooh, that's perfect. So he comes in exhausted, and then just to even the playing field, I will use Barb Trap, which will kill off the Hungry Wolf.
Mm-hmm. It is costly though. You're gonna have to discard your final card to play it.
Which I am fine with.
Yeah, this is a major board flip moment, right? That was your swing turn. You waited probably 5 turns to hit that point where you're like, all right, time to step on the gas, but you got there.
Exactly. So now everything unexhausts and it goes to the villain's turn, and I hope I don't get get hit in the face too badly.
Well, I'm going to drop this baited trap into your
sorry.
discard for you.
I didn't realize it went off the board.
Now, what I'll say is you do have a choice. When you discard something that's affected by a spell, you discard the spell, the cost, and the thing affected all together in the order you choose.
I will put the minion on top then.
You want the minion on top.
Yeah.
Hope the villain doesn't draw regeneration, but hope you do.
Flip.
We'll see.
Oh, no!
Oh, no! You sure you don't want to take that back?
Nope. I don't go back on turns. All right.
This is where, as the designer, I'm like,
yeah, exactly. So this comes back to smack me in the face.
No.
It's okay. It's okay because it's gonna hit my highest priority and it can't get through the
That's
dam.
Right. Well, the problem is on the villain side, regeneration also draws a card, so that's going to come in exhausted.
Yeah.
So the one piece of good news is that's not going to attack this turn, but it's going to swing with something else.
And draws and flip. Hungry Wolf. Whoops.
Hungry Wolf.
Which isn't too bad. Which still doesn't get through to my stuff because it goes by priority. So
correct.
I'm gonna go this way.
And it only thinks about the highest priority minion.
Exactly.
Until that minion is dead, it does not care about any other minion. It's either that or the villain. If it can't kill the minion, it kills it hits. Sorry, not the villain or you.
So at this point, the Hungry Wolf goes after my reinforced dam. The exchange blows, but nothing happens, and then it would go to my turn. Well,
it's thinking about it. So the Hungry Wolf thinks about attacking the reinforced dam, but because it will not destroy it this turn in conjunction with its other minions. Yeah. The reinforced dam does have taunt on the villain side. Again, fate favors the villain. Villain cards are usually stronger. So if you're facing a reinforced dam, you have to kill it before you attack anything else. The Hungry Wolf has its pick of targets.
True. All right.
So you're going to take 3 damage.
Yeah, 3. All right. And then this comes back unexhausted, correct?
Correct.
And then it goes to my turn. I draw a card. And flip. Barb Trap. Oh. Well, and I have nothing to discard, so I can't play it right now. So, for my turn, for attack-wise, I can't right out go and attack the villain because there's stuff in the way, correct?
No, you are perfectly able. So unless a villain minion has taunt, you are allowed to attack any minion in any order. Or attack the villain in any order.
Well, in this case, I'm going to hit with my Forest Troll and my Ent to do 8 damage, so it's down to 9.
All right, this is a face race now, as we call it.
Yeah, and then that's the end of my turn. And it would go to him to flip. Pixie Cavalry. So 2 damage, 3 health. So at this point,
this is where it's very puzzly in terms of how you order the attacks, because battle lines makes a big difference here.
I don't know if it would kill me this turn.
And as a reminder for those watching, the rule is, based on the order, the villain will always attack the highest priority minion first until it's taken care of, and then it will attack the next highest priority minion and the next. But if at any point its remaining attacks will not kill the next highest priority minion, it turns and attacks the player directly.
So at this point, just to make sure I'm playing this correctly, if I leave it this way, the Ent and the Pixie Cavalry would go after my dam. The dam would die. And then the Hungry Wolf would go after the Troll, but the Troll would also kill off the Hungry Wolf.
You've got that correct. Now, of note, I'll point this out on your side. Both of these minions are priority 3, which means you choose which one is considered higher priority this turn.
Okay,
And that's
well,
something you can swap up each turn.
yeah, I'm going to swap that out because I'd rather the Ent go than the Troll. So that's what's going to end up happening. So these two here will hit my dam, so I will discard it this way.
Mm-hmm. The Pixie Cavalry is going to be just fine. The dam is going to deal back 0 damage to each of them. Damn, right?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking that. I didn't flip that back the right way. Okay, and then the wolf takes out my Ent, but they do damage to each other, so they're both out. But I'm going to do the wolf first. And then the Ent. So he's up 2 creatures, 2 minions, and I've got 1 that still survived. And then it goes to my turn.
This would be a great time to draw guerrilla tactics, right?
Yeah, right. No, I didn't.
Now, I was waiting for me to call 2 in a row, first regeneration, and then guerrilla tactics.
Yeah.
I was going to lose it. Okay, interesting. Interesting setup here.
So I can either discard and get rid of a minion with 4 or less base health, which both of those do.
So, yeah, I'm gonna point out something, not to make you feel bad, but just to show the depth that's available in this game, right? Tactical decision making. You forced the tree herd of the villains. Oh, where is it? Yeah, to attack first. Then their Pixie Cavalry, then their Hungry Wolf. If you had swapped the Ent Tree Herd and the Hungry Wolf, it would be the Hungry Wolf alive right now and not the Ent Tree Herd.
Yeah, I know. That was my miscalculation.
Pixie Mesmerist would get all kinds of value. Yeah. But again, it's hard to see everything like that in the moment, right? Hindsight's always 20/20.
Exactly.
You have even more interesting choices in front of you right now, which you were just describing. So I'll let you get to brainstorming there.
Yeah, so I'm going to use... No, I have to discard 1 to do that. Decisions. No, I think in the long run that'll save me. So I'm going to discard the Pixie to play the spell to get rid of the Ent.
And now is another really difficult choice. Do you get an extra 5 damage in on the villain, or do you play for board control? Can you afford to play for board control at 5 health?
I'm going to go for minusing the health. So he's down to 3. Right? No.
Oh, yeah, 1 more click there.
There we go.
3. Yeah, you had it.
So now he gets to go. And let's hope
you're on the razor's edge right here.
Yeah, let's hope he gets something that doesn't help him. Oh, no.
Well, depends on how you define help.
Okay, so he gets, what does he end up getting? Destroy 1 other minion. So I get to destroy his Pixie. So now
again, the forest troll stomping onto the battlefield. You've got 2 trolls. By the way, these middle playmats are the forest troll. And I sent to your Discord, you can put it up on the screen if you like, the art of the forest troll is actually oriented together. So these are 2 sides of the same piece of art.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So right now, it goes into the battle phase. So they essentially beat each other up and they both die.
Mm-hmm.
So
troll
we're both,
on troll violence.
Yeah, troll on troll violence. So sad. And then I get to go to my turn where we hope I get something that does damage.
I mean, you're technically ahead right now because you're even on board and you're drawing, but...
Well, you know what? I'm going to protect myself and throw out this reinforced dam.
Yeah. That'll buy you a bit of time.
Give me a little bit of time, which exhausts and then goes back to ready position, and then the villain starts. Nothing good. Tactical spell doesn't do anything, I don't think. I didn't read the villain side of the card, so let's see.
That's actually dangerous that you didn't, because you could have pressed your advantage too far and gotten destroyed.
I do not have 4 minions, so that was lucky for me, but he does get to draw 1 card. So there's the extra card for that. That gets discarded. And we will flip this over. Oh, not too bad. It's
not bad on the scale of things.
So it would go and hit me for 1 because it wouldn't go after the dam because it wouldn't do enough damage to kill it.
Correct.
So now it's my turn. Draw my
What
card.
answers could be left?
Lightning
Oh,
strike, and I can't use it.
oh,
So,
this is a tight race.
so we go to the villain's turn. See what the villain gets.
Next turn, you'll be able to get value, right? Then you'll get
Yep.
you'll be able to kill the pixie mesmerist.
So he just gets to draw one card.
He's gonna
Plus he's
draw
got a
one. Yeah,
minion.
gnomish. The gnomish servant, by the way, is the minion on the far right of the table art, and you can see he's sneering and serving up something that you don't want to have to deal with.
So let's see. So he gets to draw an additional one. Flip. Oh no, I think that's game. Unfortunately, we'll see.
So they collectively deal 4 damage, which is enough to kill the reinforced dam. The dam isn't going to take any of them out, but at least you survive a turn.
Yeah. So there goes my poor little dam. You did your job.
I've
You kept me alive.
I've seen crazier things happen. This is you need a guerrilla tactics into like crazy removal. Well, you've got some of the removal pieces in your hand. Oh.
Well, at least I can bring out this dam.
This dam. Oh, that's funny.
And then it goes to the villain turn, and we flip. And we get Poison Frog, which will put at the end of the line.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Man, a gust of wind would get you some good value here. It would take out the gnome and the toad.
Yeah, so at this point, so these 3 would kill off my dam, and the frog would do 1 damage to me. So we are now tied.
Yeah, you were in the lead until that point.
Yeah, I was in the lead, and now we flip.
Health wise.
Oh.
Well, that pixie cavalry can do work for you in terms of trading, right? Because there's a lot of minions out there with 1 attack and low health. Like the villain has swarmed their side of the board, right? It's that man, back in my day of Hearthstone was the Zulok approach, right? All these tiny minions swarming the board. And just 1 minion with a bit of health and a little bit of attack can, like a mid-sized minion like Pixie Cavalry can do work. But it's not going to trade out with the Pixie Cavalry. And that buys you 1 more turn at most.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I mean, the other option is to use the lightning strike for removal. You would have to decide which minion is right for that. You would trade away the Pixie Cavalry in hopes of drawing something else. And you would know this if you played the deck. Any minion much bigger than Pixie Cavalry is going to start having cost associated with it. So
exactly.
what makes Pixie Cavalry powerful is that is kind of the best stats you're going to get for free, at least in this deck. And that's a difficult decision.
I have a question. So if I bring Pixie Cavalry out and I order things properly, that 2 guys would do enough damage to kill it off, but it also has enough damage to kill off. Does it hit both creatures or just 1 creature?
It deals its damage back to every single creature, so it'll deal 2 damage to every creature that attacks it.
It does 2 damage. So 1, 1, 1. So if I go this, it comes in exhaust, unexhaust, goes to the villain turn, and hopefully they don't do something amazing.
I was gonna say, yeah, and the villain could draw something and just end it right here. We'll see. Oh no! They're ganging up. It is Zulok. This is Storm the Board Central right here.
So he gets to draw another one.
Watch it draw like a troll or something. Earth
Shield.
This is the first shield you've drawn, and this is one of the most complicated cards, just rules-wise in Deck of Wonders right now. So this is a spell, but instead of discarding it, you put it on top of a minion.
Oh, you wouldn't put the card on top of it like that?
Well, yeah, that works as well.
Okay.
You put it with, it attaches to a minion, we'll say. And you can tell me if I need to be more prescriptive than that, but yeah, on top or beside or behind or whatever, it attaches to a minion when it's played. The first time that minion would take damage, that damage is reduced to 0. And so it blocks 1 attack, as all good shields do. The problem is it also has draw 1, so you need to figure out who you're going to put the shield on, and then you're going to have to draw another card.
Well, I'm going to put it on the frog.
Okay.
And then we'll move stuff around a little bit to make sure they're all... and he gets to draw another one. Oh,
Oh no! Apparently they were all on the bottom of the deck.
and gets another one.
Yeah, there were 13 cards left, and 4 of them are shields. So more before the turn is over.
Okay, we're gonna go and put this
Oh,
one here.
yeah, okay.
And whoops, I thought I had piled them properly so they would all connect, but I guess not. There we go.
Yeah, the things that you would never ever have to think about that you have to in Tabletop Simulator, such as how do I grab 2 cards at once?
Yeah, it's one of those things. So, wow, more shielding, man. Now, here's a question: can I shield another shielded
Oh, no.
creature, or does it?
No,
You can't double shield?
that is a
up?
good question. No, you can only. It says in the rule book, which you wouldn't know. It says in the rule book that you can only have one type of effect on a creature at once. So there are other spells that will attach to creatures, but they can only have one of each type at a time.
Well, then
So,
I guess we'll have to
yeah,
go there.
No, it's starting to get brutal. Oh,
I'm completely dead this turn. That's for sure.
you are. Yeah. Well,
But we get to
really,
see what
the
extra
important thing,
card.
the important thing is that you draw the 4th shield here. We need this. Just please be the.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a troll. Okay, so
And this is the crazy thing. I think you might not be dead this turn.
I don't know.
Well,
I think with the troll,
I
I'm
think you're
dead.
Well, no,
But-
the troll. So the troll kills another minion, and you could have it destroy the pixie cavalry.
Yeah, but doesn't it get shielded?
1, 2, 3. No, so destroy work, and again, this is a rule books thing.
Mm-hmm.
Destroy works through shield. So if you're dealing damage to something, it blocks that damage. But if it's destroy, it just straight up kills it.
Okay, so we'll get rid of these guys. So
Yeah, you might. Well, I think you're gonna have one more turn. I think you've got one more turn in you. I don't know what you're gonna do with that turn.
I can hope for a
but
miracle.
I think you've got one more turn. Yeah.
Believe in the heart
But
of
yeah,
cards.
and,
They might
this
help
is-
me.
The emergent little fun play moments that come. It's like, okay, I've had this happen in Hearthstone. Like, I know this person is won, but they're gonna pay for it. I'm gonna show them how long I can fight before I go down.
Okay, so
I see a way to. I won't tell you, but I see a way to order these attacks that gives you one more turn.
well, he's gonna hit me for 5. So that's I don't know, because right now, so my Pixie Cavalry has 3 health. So these 2 plus this guy.
Yeah, overkilling it by 4, which is great. Waste that attack.
Yeah, so these guys die.
Mm-hmm.
So does my cavalry. So cavalry. Oops, let me just zoom out a bit. So he doesn't do damage to me, but these 2 do. So I survive at 1.
You're literally on 1 health. So, here I'll do a pseudo card reveal on this stream, I guess. There is a minion in the game that when it's played, it deals 3 damage directly to the villain. And so if it's not in this deck, unfortunately for you. Sorry. You probably got your hopes up for a second there, but as you're playing, you're like, maybe what you realize is, okay, I can get to end game with my current strategy, but I can't cross the finish line. I need to put in a couple of those cards. And then just sit on it. If I draw it, I know I need that last little burst. That'll get me across the finish line. That's, game to game. After this game, you might make that choice and go back and edit your deck because of that. But let's see what you draw.
Let's see. And we flip to reveal, and it's another spell, and it's another lightning strike.
I mean, you can play these cards.
I could play these cards, but they're not going to do me much because it's 2 or less.
You
So I
never
can
know, yeah.
either get the frog gone or the servant. The toad, sorry,
And
not the frog.
the frog of the 2 is, the toad of the 2 is the more dangerous one because it's got poison.
So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm discarding, casting.
And the great news is you get to draw 1 when you play that.
Let's see. Miracle. Nope. Oh,
Guerrilla
yes.
tactics.
So I get to...
we have. I'm calling it right now. Miracle. Let's go. Let's go.
So play this one.
I believe in you. Yes.
Two
Draw two.
cards. Let's see what we end up getting. Pixie Cavalry and another Pixie Dude. So those both come out at free.
Okay.
So I could, in theory, survive one more turn.
You got to unload.
Yeah,
this is nuts. This is crazy.
So I'm down to, I have 6 cards left in the deck, and I'm down to 1 health. So these unexhaust at this point, and it goes to the villain turn. So let's see what the villain draws. And they get another
no
draw.
Sorry, they're just ganging up on you. Flood the board. Oh.
So let's see what else. Oops. Now I don't know which side it's on, so let's just flip the card. Oh no, we got an Ent.
And oh goodness. Is there a way to order these attacks that leaves you alive for another turn? There was a glimmer of hope. So let's say the villain had drawn Gust of Wind instead. And then you could have used the Pixie Mesmerist to trade away with the Gnomish Servant and the Forest Troll. It wouldn't kill either of them, but that would have left your Pixie Cavalry up to attack again, and you would have gotten the villain down to 1 health. I don't know if you'd have survived another turn, but like there were card combinations. I'm talking like you've lost. You haven't yet. There are card combinations that could save you. This is a very tough puzzle right here.
So,
Yeah. I see what you're doing. I think it keeps. What more can you say? But it keeps you alive, right?
Yeah. So these two here will take out this guy. This guy loses his shield.
Correct, but he does not himself die.
Exactly. So the shield goes bye-bye, but he still survives. This guy's gone. Then these two here'll hit this one. This one goes bye-bye. This one survives. This one goes bye-bye. And we go back to seeing what the deck decides fate will be.
Oh, man. What does fate have in store?
Oh, here we go.
Gnomish Servant.
Some
yeah,
draw power.
feels good when it's yours. Now, if that had shown up a turn earlier and you'd drawn into the guerrilla tactics, this would be a completely different game right now.
Oh, yeah, it would.
Like if you had gotten that instead of them, unfortunately, I think now fate has decided.
We're down to 2 cards in the deck. So we flip this and see what we've got. Oh, no.
Woo.
Nope. I'm getting.
It's not as bad as it looks.
So.
Well, it is as bad as it looks. You're about to lose, but it's not as bad as it looks.
Oh, we forgot to destroy a forest, a creature with 2 or less. But that had 2 or less. So
you could have destroyed any. No. Wait. Yeah, roll that back. Because if you drew the Forest Troll for the villain.
Well, we did twice, and I forgot to destroy a minion both times. So I just drew the second one, but the first one didn't get destroyed. So unfortunately,
and it destroys any. No, it destroys any creature that comes out. So it would have. It wouldn't have changed the result because it would have destroyed a Gnomish Servant. Because the Forest Troll was drawn before the Ent Tree Herd, and then we rearranged them.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's true. Well,
same result. Good.
At least I can get
though.
rid of this guy first.
Yeah, this final troll is extra mad. It's just gonna stomp all over its brethren.
Yeah.
Actually, do you want to know a secret about the Forest Troll? Little
Sure.
Easter egg. Let's go. If you go over and circle around and look at the good side, I'm gonna actually unlock and move the villain card here to reveal something. And people will play with this for hours and hours and not notice. The Forest Troll is actually just protecting her baby.
Aww.
There's a whole little baby in there.
It's
and everyone assumes in the lore of the game, everyone assumes trolls are these monsters, mindless killing machines, which, yeah, they can be. But really, if you were able to observe them, they just don't like outsiders. They want to be left alone. If you're able to observe them in their natural habitat, kind of in their own communities, they're actually great, and caring and all that stuff. So you are not going to benefit from that care in this moment.
No, unfortunately, I'm going to get wrecked. But at least I can try and make it minimal death. So
yeah,
the troll
3. Yeah.
troll will hit me there, and then I will take 4 points of damage. So -3, and that ends the game with only 1 card left in the deck. Can we at least see what the card was?
Yeah, flip it over. Why not see what's there? Where's the guerrilla tactics?
Tactics.
You could have reloaded.
I could have.
And the
But
good news is at the bottom of the deck, you reshuffle the discard and keep going.
okay.
Um, Now there are going to be circumstances where things get worse for you if you get through the deck, or there's villain powers that kick in. So be wary of dawdling around for too long. You don't want to just create a stall deck. But yeah, so you've fallen to Cullen. Like I said, fate favors the villain,
Mm-hmm.
and that came true in this. Although man, it's super close. 3 health left on the villain side.
Yeah.
Just there are so many ways the cards could have fallen differently, or just little choices earlier in the game that snowballed. And we can unpack that all day. But the great thing is, even though you lost in this case, you're still going to progress. So what you would do is you would come to your villain card, and at the bottom here it says on your third loss, open Legacy Pack B, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you would make a check on there, and then let's say as you keep on playing, that gets you closer to opening Legacy Pack B over here, which is titled Unexpected Allies.
Hmm.
And so, as you can imagine, if my principle is whatever circumstance has you opening a pack should be changed by that pack. So, if you're opening a pack because you're getting kicked in the teeth, maybe those unexpected allies are going to be helpful. If you're opening a pack because you are just crushing and winning every game, maybe it's something that's going to put you in your place a little bit.
So I've got a
And
quick
that's the idea of the
question
game.
for
Of
the
course.
product of the game itself. So
Mhm.
you were discussing, I believe this is coming to Kickstarter soon, um, and we should have more news on that later this week. But for the actual legacy part, or for the story portion of the game, you said there was 3 different villains that you can face off with.
Yeah, 3 different villains in the game. So the first one is Cullen the Spoiled Prince, who you dueled with today.
Mm-hmm.
The second is Aurora the Empath, and Aurora is a powerful fae who is empathically linked to everyone around her. And it's interesting, all these villains kind of have a little bit of story for how they interact with fate. So I mentioned earlier, Cullen thinks that he's like fate's favorite. How could he not be?
Mm-hmm.
And he's frustrated that she's not paying enough attention to him. That's why he wants to come after you. Aurora it's almost a tough place for her to be because she's such a powerful empath and she's feeling everything, all the suffering, all the joy, all at once, all the time. She almost like worshiping fate is her way of surviving, like dealing with all these emotions, and just like if it's all fate's problem, if I cast everything on fate, then I don't have to deal with it as much. Which causes her actually to be very cruel. And it was inspired by, there's an article in NPR about how empathy, and specifically misplaced empathy, can actually be very destructive.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you see someone being cruel and hurting someone else, generally it's not because they are a hateful person or because they want to inflict cruelty, though there are certainly those people out there. Generally, it's because they have felt empathy so deeply for someone they feel is being threatened by the other that they're going after the other, and that is the true motivation. And so Aurora's mechanics are much more aggressive, and she deals damage to herself in order to get at you, and it is a an all-out aggro, red white in Magic terms brawl,
Okay.
mechanically. But from that story place of like, here's someone who is incredibly powerful, and a little bit overwhelmed, and the product of that when she puts her empathy in the wrong place. The final villain is Byzantis the Enthraller, and he's a sorcerer who is obsessed with the idea of mind control and dominance. And kind of his worldview is that really fate's just pushing everyone around. Fate kind of has everyone mind controlled anyway because she seems to manage how things work out. And he doesn't really see the nuance of her being very kind of inception like with it.
Okay.
She seems to do, work her will through a more subtle approach, whereas Byzantis is just like, no, I want fate's power, and then I'm going to be in charge, and I'm going to just dominate everyone. And that's why he wants the deck of wonders, and he's coming after you for it. So he plays much more, because he's obsessed with control. He plays much more like a control deck, and I think it's blue black is probably the closest
Mm-hmm.
analog in Magic, where he's obsessed with kind of twisting fate to his will and peeking ahead and kind of dominating other creatures, and you see that play out in the mechanics. So those are the 3 base villains. What I'll say is there are legacy unlockables for every villain as well, and one of the unlockables for each villain is going to be what I call the villain's fated form. This is essentially another villain, but it is that villain, their full story told, their true selves revealed, and it's a very, very challenging version of that villain amped up with special rules and special abilities.
Very interesting. Well, thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much for showing us the game. We are definitely
Yeah, my
interested.
pleasure.
This is definitely something I would back. And I hope you guys do really well on Kickstarter.
Thank you. We are announcing the launch date soon. Depending on when you put this up, I'll just say it. We're launching on Kickstarter August 25th. So please come and support us. I'll give you a link for it if you want to pass that along. And could not be more excited to share this game with more people.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll catch you guys next time at the table. Bye.
Bye.